What's going on, Alabama fans? This is Brandon, aka Fresh, back again, dropping another Alabama video for y'all. Fall camp is just around the corner. Before we get started, please make sure y'all hit the like button, smash that like button. The price of admission is almost close to going up, but I appreciate all the love, all the support, everybody that's been rocking with us from the beginning. So continue to rock with us, but hit the like button, share this with your favorite Alabama fan. Let's get it. All right. So today we are talking about Jase McClellan. And I'll be honest with y'all, I am a huge Jase McClellan fan in terms of his running style and just the type of athlete that he is. For those of y'all who don't remember, Jase was a top recruit in the 2020 class from Texas, Aledo, Texas. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. A long-time Oklahoma commit, and then he just at the last minute decided to flip his recruitment at the end of 2019, and he signed with Alabama to be a part of that 2020 class. And he kind of burst on the scene, in that COVID year. And if you look at his stats, you're like, man, these like video game numbers. But I mean, it was in a very short time, so the sample size is really small, but just from the eye test, you saw the explosion. You saw all of the capabilities that he is capable of, very quickly. And one of the things I really like about Jase is I don't think he has any weaknesses. I don't say there's anything that he does that is like otherworldly, like it's like not like a Reggie Bush or something like that. But he just does everything well. I mean, if you look at him, he's, built really nice. He's about 5'11", probably about 220. If I had to guess his 40 time based on the film, it looks like he's a very high 4'4", extremely low 4'5" guy. So I expect him to run somewhere in that 4'8" range. But he's shifty, he's powerful, he's explosive. He can block well. He catches the ball out the backfield, runs really good routes. I mean, I don't see hardly any real weaknesses from him. And it is very, very possible that he's going to have a monster year running behind this offensive line, assuming that he's 100% healthy. He came off of an injury in that 2021 year. He was back last season, and I thought he played very well. But I mean, you had a Jahmyr Gibbs that kind of took some of the pressure off of him coming off of an injury. So he didn't have to be a workhorse as soon as he came back. But, you give him another off season to fully just, train, and, he's not rehabbing. He's just, getting stronger and getting better. Whew, man, the possibilities, the potential of with his skill set, of what he can do, what he can be, because this is a guy that, from the running back position, he can take the handoff. He could take it 75 yards up the gut for a touchdown, break a couple tackles, and then, off to the races. You're not going to catch him from behind. He's a guy that if you need short yardage situations, if you need, it's a third and short, fourth and inches or whatever, he can be that guy that can get that yard, that yard or that 2 yards that you might need, be a goal line threat as well. Again, I just mentioned, just like Jahmyr Gibbs was, catch it out the backfield. And we've seen that from him. There's enough sample size to know what he can do with the ball in his hands. In all Alabama, you're not going to be able to get on the field for Alabama as a running back if you can't block and pass protect. So you already know he's got that down pat, because he was basically sharing snaps, 1A, 1B with Jahmyr Gibbs last year. So we already know that Jase McClellan has got that down pat. So, I mean, what can he not do? He's got the vision, he's got the strength, he's got the speed, he got the explosive, the elusiveness, the pass protection. Like I said, I don't see him as anything that's like, he runs a 4.2, 4.3 where he has dynamic speed like that. He's not, 250 where he has super duper power, but there is no weakness, because I feel like he has everything that you want in a running back. So am I going to sit here and say he's going to win a Heisman? No, I'm not going to say that, but I'm also not going to put it behind him when we've seen Alabama running backs in the past, similar to like a Mark Ingram. He has a lot of Mark Ingram capabilities, and he has a lot of that feel, because Mark Ingram pretty much was the same way, high 4'4", low 4'5" guy, super duper vision, elusive, exceptional hands, make plays out of the backfield from the receiver, as a receiver, pass catcher, pass protection, all of that. I mean, he was just put together very well. And I see a lot of that in Jase McClellan. And I think he feels as though he has a lot to prove. You got a lot of people, kind of overlooking him, talking a lot about Justice Haynes. I've gushed over Justice Haynes. I love what Justice Haynes brings to the table. Then you're starting to look at, the large running back room, and, you almost, not saying you forget about them, but you just get so excited about some of the other guys. You hear these fans, they get so excited about the new guys and everybody else that you kind of forget just how valuable Jase McClellan was for you last year. He had, about 655 yards rushing, averaged just under 6 yards a carry, 10 total touchdowns. I mean, what else can you ask for from someone who was splitting time with someone? So, I'm expecting big things from Jase McClellan this season. And do not be surprised if this Alabama running back room is one of the best in the nation. And like I said, going back to some of the videos that I've mentioned, the quarterback position is going to be the most talked about in fall camp. I mean, from day one, every day, Nick Saban's going to get a question about how the quarterbacks are looking, who's separating themselves, how's it looking after the first scrimmage. It's going to be ad nauseum. And maybe that's the reason why they don't want to open up practice again for the media after, COVID has passed 3 years ago. I digress. It's kind of embarrassing. It's a joke at this point. But all the quarterback really needs to do at this point is just be manageable. Manage the game. You don't need to do anything overly extra. I'm expecting the running backs to get a bulk of the load. Very similar to 2015 when you had Derrick Henry. Now, he did it virtually by himself, getting 20 to 25 carries easily every game. I expect between Jase McClellan, Roydell Williams, Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, Richard Young. I mean, man, you're talking about 4, maybe even 5 running backs. And don't even forget just some of the athletes that you have. You still have Emmanuel Henderson, who I expect to, get, maybe 1 or 2 rushes a game, in like a reverse or push pass. It'll count as a pass, but, that to me is still like a run. So expect to see, a lot of run and rushes from Alabama's running back room this season, with Jase McClellan being the focal point, the leader of that group, and probably having a big chip on the shoulder. If you remember, it was just last month he posted to his Instagram. We'll put it right here up on the screen. I'm not going to decode the message for you. If some of y'all got younger kids, they'll let you know. But those of us, of the culture, we kind of understand what he's saying. But he's basically saying, hey, man, y'all might think I'm gone, but I come back like Mike. Y'all remember when Mike came back with that 45? Yeah. He had to let people know, yeah, I might, might not be the same, but got 3 rings right after that. So Jase McClellan coming 2023. We will see. I don't know what he's going to do. Like I tell y'all before, I don't have a crystal ball, but again, coming off of a year where you can do nothing but train and get stronger, bigger, faster, stronger, and get better, versus, you're trying to do that plus rehab off of an injury. It's a totally different mindset, totally different expectation. And I believe he has the requisite package to do some special things. And Alabama did not have a 1,000-yard rusher last season, which is definitely not something that Alabama fans are used to, especially in this Nick Saban era, where virtually almost every starting running back gets 1,000 yards. And they even had one year where they had multiple running backs get 1,000 yards. So, or a couple of times actually. So, don't be surprised if you see this from Jase McClellan. Expect big things from number 2. I believe he expects big things. I think he wants it. I think he is starving and hungry to show Alabama fans exactly what he has. And Middle Tennessee is probably circled very heavily on his calendar. So we shall see. I'm expecting the big year. I'm expecting him to carry the bulk of the load. And I'm expecting him to have a monster season. Monster, capitalize that, all caps. Monster. And he can even cut off the ER and put an A on that end. Feel me? So, but that's all I got for y'all. If you have not done so already, please make sure you hit the like button. You already know, smash the like button, share this with your favorite Alabama fan. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell because I am coming all fall. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to jump ahead. I'm coming all fall, trying to bring the best content that we can muster for y'all all across. We still got Stephen M, Justin Smith with the recruiting information. All of us are trying to give the best that we can and all the coverage and keep y'all in the loop, give y'all my perspective. That's what I like to do all season long, and especially during fall camp. So please make sure you lock in with us. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Make sure you're following us on our social media channels, Twitter or X or whatever it is now, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Please make sure you're following us on those. Get yourself a subscription to touchdownalabama.com and continue to rock with us all season long. This is Brandon, aka Fresh, signing off.